So it is a beautiful spring day, and it's just awesome. I'm off to Tokyo in 2 days, and it's a gorgeous day. It's probably about 20 degrees right now. And since it's a spring day, I wanted to tell you a spring-themed story. Alright, now this has nothing to do actually with my time living in Asia, Korea, or Japan at all. This is a Canadian-based springtime story. Now, years ago, in the late 90s, after I'd finished university, I'd gone back to school, and I was taking a 2-year electronic game design course at New Brunswick Community College in Miramichi, New Brunswick. And it was the spring of my first year. I was finishing up my first year in the program, and winters in northern New Brunswick are pretty rough. I'm kind of getting winded here because I'm walking up a hill. Winters in northern New Brunswick are pretty tough. A lot of snow. And, spring was around. It was near the end of March, beginning of April. I believe we had like a Chinook, which is like what they call an Indian summer. And, so it was, it basically got really, really warm. I have no idea where I'm walking right now. It got really, really warm. And we still had a lot of snow on the ground, but I think the temperature went up to like 10 or 12 degrees, which after months of minus double digits, it's pretty amazing. So a crew of us, after school that afternoon, we all went to the liquor store and we bought beer, and we went up to our dormitories, our residence. And I was probably in my mid-20s early 20s still at this point. Older than a normal university student, but not much. And we had a barbecue, which we had refurbished. We set up the barbecue outside. We started barbecuing. And so I had a big Coleman cooler, threw a bunch of beer in there, a bunch of meat, and a whole bunch of us, we set up lawn chairs. We were wearing like shorts and t-shirts, sitting in the snow with our beer in the snow. It was kind of weird. Snow everywhere, but warm enough to wear t-shirts and shorts, if you're a crazy Canadian. And this house doesn't really fit in, does it? Look at that house behind me. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, so yeah. So we're having this barbecue, great time, drinking lots of beer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the party's finished, everything's done. I think we drank ourselves really stupid. Packed up all the stuff. I ate all my meat. I think I had some burgers or something. I ate all that up, and so everything's done. The beer's gone. So we pack everything up and throw everything, all the garbage away, and I bring my cooler up to my room and put it away I would keep it at the foot of my bed. I had a suite actually, so I had like a living room and a bedroom, and like a kind of like a kitchenette. And there you go. And life went on as normal. But a week later, there was a strange smell when I woke up in the morning. A bit of a weird smell. I didn't know what it was, but I opened up the windows and it went away. I came home from school that afternoon, and my room had that kind of weird smell again. Couldn't figure out what it was. Maybe something coming from another room somewhere down the hallway. There's some pretty grubby guys that lived on my floor. So this went on day after day after day, and as the days went on, the smell got worse and worse. I'd get home from school in the afternoon and open up my door, and my windows have been closed all day, and the smell would be really bad in my place. I'd open up all the windows and the smell would go away. So finally, after about 2 weeks of this smell, now of course I waited 2 weeks because I was like a 23-year-old, 24-year-old guy, and we do that. We wait too long for things like that. I decided to search, and I started searching my apartment. I couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from. There was no leftover food in my fridge, and so I started cleaning my apartment, and scrubbing and cleaning and scrubbing and cleaning. Because that's what you do. Oh, there's a Dalmatian. Hello, Mr. Dalmatian. Not a happy Dalmatian. So I started cleaning my room, and I just can't find them. I'm turning my apartment upside down, top to bottom, and I don't know where the smell is coming from. So check this out. This is all bamboo right here, all in front of me, bamboo. There's a graveyard right over here. Look at that. It's a big graveyard. Okay, so I'm checking my room out, I'm cleaning my room, and I look at my cooler, and I wonder, my cooler is about the only thing I haven't looked in. So I go to my cooler, and there can't be anything in my cooler because, I ate all my meat that time of the barbecue, and I drank all the beer, and believe me, I would not leave a beer behind. So I had a bunch of books and clothes on top of my cooler. I take them all off the cooler. I pop open the cooler, and the most ungodly smell you've ever smelled just hit me in the face. It was awful. I almost threw up. This wave of nastiness hit me. And what was in the bottom of my freaking cooler but a steak? A steak in a package, like a T-bone. It wasn't mine. So someone had bought it that day of the barbecue and threw it in my cooler without telling me. So of course I didn't have a steak, so I packed it all up and yeah, so this cooler, my cooler at the foot of my bed, had a steak sitting in it for about 3 weeks, rotting. So the moment that smell got out, it hit the air. It just flew through my suite, out into the hallway, and through the entire residence. And I was on the 3rd floor, and it just ranked and stunk out my floor all the way down to the 1st floor. It just destroyed it. And this was a Friday afternoon. I discovered this actually just before a long weekend, luckily. And man, it was putrid. And people came from doors down, what the fuck is that smell, Kevin? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. And man, oh man, so there you go, the stinky steak. So there was not even a point of trying to clean that cooler up, man. I just took that and threw it in the dumpster behind the residence. It was funny, later on that night, we actually started having a snowstorm. And I looked, because that's Canada, weeks before it was 10 degrees and double digits above zero, and then, then there's a blizzard. I looked out my window during that blizzard, and I saw 2 guys who lived on my floor who were being really cheap and decided they wanted to try to get my cooler and recover my cooler and clean it out. And I watched them outside with a hose in the snowstorm, trying to wash it out, and then after about 10 minutes, they just gave up. They had their shirts, over their noses and stuff, because it was so stinky. So there you go. There's my stinky steak spring story. And today, for some reason, the warm air just reminded me of that. Now, it doesn't smell bad, but there you go. So guys, thanks for listening to another long BusanKevin story. And I hope you've been enjoying some of the sights. Take care, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.